Robert Redford, the iconic actor who has long enchanted audiences, is making headlines for surprising reasons. This recent turn of events has caught many off guard, uncovering a new chapter in Redford's life. Discover the latest updates on this legendary star and how they are reshaping his well-known legacy. Robert Redford's illustrious career. The life story of Robert Redford, one of the most popular actors and directors of Hollywood, is as interesting as the movies he has done. Redford was born on August 18, 1936, in Santa Monica, California, and was raised in a working-class environment. His father was a milkman, and his mother, who died when he was 18 years old, had a great impact on him. She was the one who awakened his passion for arts and curiosity and love for stories in him. It was not always Redford's dream to become an actor. In fact, he once wanted to become a painter. In fact, his early life was not very straightforward. He went to college at the University of Colorado on a baseball scholarship, but that did not turn out well. He had to leave school because he failed his exams, which resulted in him being a vagrant in Europe for some time. This was the time when he began to adopt the bohemian way of life, which in turn pushed him to painting and ultimately acting. His first steps into the acting world were not very smooth. As is with many other aspiring actors, Redford began his acting on stage. He took acting lessons in New York and acted in off-Broadway plays. He first appeared on Broadway in 1959 in Tall Story, and then was featured on television shows such as Maverick and Perry Mason. His breakthrough role was in the movie War Hunt, released in 1962, in which he also met and became friends with Sidney Pollack, who would remain his friend throughout his career. It did not take Redford long to climb to stardom once he got a chance to start acting. The years between the late 1960s and the 1970s were particularly ripe for him. He worked in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, 1969, with Paul Newman, and this movie alone was a blockbuster and made Redford one of the leading Hollywood actors. His depiction of the smooth-talking gunslinger Sundance Kid made the movie a success and a favorite. After this, Redford was able to select more scripts that would further reveal the range and the potential of the actor. In The Sting, 1973, Newman worked with Redford again, portraying the character of a con man in a film that received multiple Academy Awards, including the Best Picture Award. Redford and Newman had excellent on-screen chemistry, and therefore the combination of the two actors became one of the most famous in the history of cinema. There were also no shortages of political roles in Redford's acting portfolio. In the movie All the President's Men, 1976, he portrayed Bob Woodward, one of the reporters who worked on the Watergate story. The film was well received by critics and further established Redford as a serious actor, willing to take on issues that mattered in the real world. Another memorable performance in his acting career was in The Natural, 1984, in which Redford portrayed Roy Hobbs, a talented but mysterious baseball player. The film became legendary, which can be attributed to Redford's charisma, which depicted the mythological aspect of the American dream. But Redford was not satisfied with just acting. In 1980, he directed Ordinary People, a film that focused on the issues of family and mourning. The movie was highly appreciated, and Redford received the Academy Award for the Best Director. His directorial talent did not end there. In 1992, he directed A River Runs Through It, a well-made movie about fly fishing, family, and time that also highlighted his talent for portraying intimate and visually appealing films. Robert Redford has been honored many times throughout his career, and all these honors testify to his significant impact on the industry. In the movie The Sting, he was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Actor, while his directorial debut in Ordinary People earned him the Academy Award for Best Director. However, Redford's impact was not only in the typical Hollywood cinema, but also in the independent film. In 1981, he established the Sundance Institute, an organization that provides support to independent directors and producers, and organizes the Sundance Film Festival, one of the most significant events for independent movies globally. The festival helped launch the careers of many filmmakers and actors, making Redford not only a movie icon but also a patron of the arts. He has received numerous awards for his work in the film industry, such as the Golden Globe Award, the Kennedy Center Honors, and an honorary Oscar in 2002 for his contribution to cinema. Redford has remained a man of principle and imagination throughout his career, and has selected the work that will transform him and the audience. For this reason, his work, whether in front of the camera or behind the scenes, has impacted the world of film in a way that has made him one of the most respected and admired personalities in Hollywood history. Recent developments in Robert Redford's life. Robert Redford, one of the most famous actors in Hollywood, has always been associated with energy and virility. But even the idols are not protected from the difficulties of the aging process. Recently, Redford was diagnosed with some diseases that are quite expected to cause some worries among his followers and the public in general. Redford, for the most part, has been very discreet about his personal life, but there are times that he has given out some information that can give the public an idea of what he is going through. Another major health issue that Redford has had to battle, for instance, is the loss of his hearing ability. It is noteworthy that Redford has openly discussed his hearing problems that have affected his acting and directing career. Co-host's hearing problem is not unique to age, but is a major problem for anyone who is in the entertainment industry, where communication is paramount. Redford has said that this condition has led him to avoid some public positions because it has become difficult to participate in debates as he used to. Another reported ailment is skin cancer, which he has been fighting for some time now. Considering that Redford has always been an outdoor enthusiast and spent most of his youth tanning under the sun, it is not very shocking that he was going to face such a challenge. He has been treated for different types of skin cancer, and this has made him to be very careful with his health. Although the public is not aware of all the details, it can be seen that these health problems have affected Redford's decision to work less and be more selective when and how he appears in public. These health challenges have also been evident in Redford's career choices, as will be discussed below. It has not been easy for me as a man who has always been very involved in his work, whether in acting, directing, or producing. However, Redford has admitted that his health has made him change his priorities in life. He has said in interviews that he wants to take better care of himself and limit his appearances, which means that he has been seen less in public and is more picky about which roles he takes. Family and personal life. However, Robert Redford's life has not been very healthy in recent years due to his health problems, but his personal life has undergone a drastic change. Family has always been important to Redford, and he speaks about it all the time. However, the Redford family has experienced happiness and sadness in recent years. In 2020, Redford's son James succumbed to bile duct cancer at 58 after a long battle. Following in his father's footsteps as a documentary filmmaker, James Redford was a great filmmaker and activist. The loss affected Redford most especially because he has always been close to his children. That is why even giants like James were mortal, as his death proved. In this catastrophe, Redford is able to get strength from his family. He continues to be around his children, Shauna, Amy, and Scott. Redford also gets comfort in being a grandfather. He says he gets happiness and motivation from his grandchildren of any age. He has emphasized the importance of being with the next generation of Redfords, teaching them something, and having fun. In his second marriage to a German artist, Sybil Sagers, Redford has found a friend. They have been married since 2009, and she has stood by him, especially when he has been through some trying moments. They have done several art-related projects because they are lovers of art and the environment. Mutual respect and understanding have given Redford consistent support in his senior years. Redford's retirement was a big deal for him and the millions of his fans who have been following him for decades. He announced his retirement in 2018 after shooting The Old Man and the Gun. The movie about an old man who is a bank robber who escapes from prison several times was a perfect farewell for an actor who portrayed outcasts with a mischievous spark and a rebellious spirit. In interviews conducted after his announcement of his retirement, Redford said that retiring was difficult but essential. He wished to go out on a high note with a major role that would depict his acting career. The audience was given the final opportunity to see him do what he does best in The Old Man and the Gun. Thus, Redford's retirement from acting did not mean that he left creativity, but he has kept up with the environment and Sundance Institute work. Redford is involved in every aspect of the Sundance Film Festival, even if he is not its public face any longer. Redford has always been an advocate of independent cinema, and Sundance has helped many new talents to come to the forefront. Redford also carries on with his environmentalism with the Sundance activities. He has been an activist for conservation and climate change for many years, and has become even more enthusiastic. These issues have been discussed by Redford in documentaries, speeches, and in organizations that deal with the environment. He is committed to the world and does not wish to just make a movie, but to make a difference in the real world. Redford has a less dramatic private life. He enjoys being in the outdoors, especially in Utah, where he can enjoy the isolation of the mountains. Acting was not the first passion of the artist. He has been painting before singing and dancing and still does. Redford considers retirement as a new phase in his life where he will have an opportunity to do what is important. Robert Redford's legacy and ongoing influence. There can be no doubt that Robert Redford has been a major force in Hollywood for many years, and it is important to consider just how much he has done for the movie business. Beginning with his role in the Western film, Redford played a major role in changing the perception of what a hero in a Western movie could look like. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and the character of Sundance Kid he portrayed, added more charm and depth to the Western genre, which helped the films to become more popular among the audience. This role, as well as others such as in Jeremiah Johnson, proved that Westerns could be more than just stories of cowboys. They could also have themes of survival, ethics, and the spirit of America. However, Redford's influence was not only in the genre of Westerns. He was instrumental in the promotion of political thrillers, especially with movies such as All the President's Men. With the character of Bob Woodward, one of the journalists who exposed the Watergate scandal in this movie, Redford took the genre to a new level. It was not only a thriller, but also a social statement on journalism, power, and the truth, and it spawned countless imitators. However, one of the biggest achievements of Redford might be the impact he had on future generations of directors and actors. In his work, Redford proved that the cinema could be an entertaining and a tool for social change at the same time. He urged them to make films that had something to say, to dare, and to innovate in the art of filmmaking. Today's directors and actors credit Redford as a role model on and off the screen, as well as an example of the hard work and passion that goes into the job. However, apart from his acting and directing career, Robert Redford is also famous for his environmentalism and charity. This passion for nature has been with him since childhood, and he has been involved in many causes and organizations. In 1981, Redford established the Redford Center for Environmental Innovation, a nonprofit organization that uses the power of storytelling to address environmental issues. The center is involved in making documentaries, nurturing filmmakers, and general advocacy on important environmental causes. Redford's activism also did not end at founding organizations. He has been very vocal on matters concerning the environment and has been very vocal on issues such as climate change, conservation, and the use of renewable resources. These are some of the causes that he has supported, and his love for them has sometimes been in line with his work as a filmmaker. For example, the movies he decides to direct or to produce are frequently related to environmental problems or social inequality. A River Runs Through It is a good example of such a movie because it is a great example of portraying the beauty of nature and the need to conserve it. Also, Redford has employed the Sundance Film Festival to market films that address environmental concerns and social causes. The festival, which is now one of the most important in the world, allows independent filmmakers to have their say and be heard. Sundance has not only given Redford a chance to cultivate future generations of directors, but also to ensure that the stories that need to be told get told. Robert Redford's cultural impact is immense, and it has affected not only the movie industry but also American culture. Redford has evolved into the embodiment of a specific period in Hollywood's history, the time when the focus was on the art, the message, and the ability to tell a story. They are now part of American pop culture, embodying the image of an artist as a maker and as a shaper. Another important aspect of Redford's career that should be mentioned is that he is the co-founder of the Sundance Film Festival. From a small meeting of movie makers in Utah, this has become a worldwide event that has revolutionized the independent movie industry. Sundance has been a springboard for thousands of directors, and many of them have defined the further destiny of cinema. The focus on storytelling, innovation, and social relevance is very much in line with Redford's own vision and guarantees that his legacy will live on for generations to come. Redford's cultural influence is also reflected in his characters on the big screen. Such characters as Sundance Kid, Roy Hobbs, and Bob Woodward are not just roles that he portrayed. They are legends of American cinema, different facets of the American dream. In those roles, Redford has contributed to the formation of social identity, historical memory, and vision of society's future. Media coverage of recent events. The media has been keen to cover the latest events in the life of Robert Redford, especially after he has retired from active acting and directing and has suffered some health and personal problems. Some media outlets have described his case with empathy and consideration, while others have unfortunately taken liberties and turned his story into a circus where sensationalism and gossip take precedence over truth. Sometimes the headlines have been rather misleading about the health of Redford, making it seem worse than it really is. The coverage tone has ranged from positive, where some of the media sources focused on Redford's achievements and contributions to society, to negative, where some of the sources dwelled on the negative aspects of Redford's life, probably to gain readership. Those who like Robert Redford have been very interested in the information concerning his recent life experiences. Twitter and other social networks have been filled with good wishes, admiration, and thanks to the great actor and director. People have posted messages, reminiscing their favorite movies with Redford and asking how he is doing. Other celebrities and collaborators have also joined in adding their voices and giving their support and love to the star. Some of the fans have gone to the extent of creating online campaigns, where people are encouraged to watch his movies or contribute to charity organizations that he supports, especially those to do with the environment. Like it is with any celebrity, speculations and rumors regarding Robert Redford's health and his private life have been made in the media. Some of them have suggested that he is in a very bad health condition, while others have speculated on personal issues without any evidence. Redford and his representatives have, in general, kept mum, responding only to the most persistent rumors. When needed, they have explained the truth, particularly the fact that Redford wants to spend his retirement in solitude. Though these clarifications have gone a long way in debunking some of the wild imaginations. The fact that rumors still exist shows the difficulties of keeping privacy when one is a popular icon. What's next for Robert Redford? It is therefore interesting to ask what the future might have in store for this legendary figure as Robert Redford now enjoys his retirement. It is not unusual to see Redford occasionally come out of retirement to work on special projects or on issues that are dear to him, especially those that have to do with the environment. Maybe we could catch him narrating a documentary or occasionally coming out for a film festival, say Sundance, which he started and still controls. But it is equally possible that Redford will dedicate his time to his family and thus retreat from the public eye for some time. It is very rare to find a movie star whose films remain relevant to this generation and the next. Films like Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, The Sting, and All the President's Men are not only classics but also remain interesting and engaging for the viewers of the new generation. The films that Redford has acted in, as well as those he has directed, have been a benchmark for storytelling in Hollywood, entertaining while at the same time provoking the audience's intellect. When the historians of the future attempt to identify the major trends of contemporary cinema and to assess the role of Robert Redford in shaping the cinematic culture of the 21st century, they will recognize him as a man of great principles and strong moral values, who has been striving to produce the films that would be significant for the society. His films, as well as the values that he brought to his movies, will remain with us for many years to come, thus preserving Redford's legacy. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more updates on Robert Redford. If you enjoyed this, click the video popping up on your screen and subscribe for more content. See you next time.